Hi, Orko. So we have come in the middle of the at a very odd hour because it's a very, I don't know how to express this feeling. It's a very scary feeling to see a player collapse like this. It is extremely scary, and the way he was carried off. Um, I'm still shaken. I mean, I honestly don't know what to say because I have never.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, if Orgo, you can take over because I'm still very
Yeah.
shaken.
So we were discussing about this for a while, that whether should we come live or not, and because we were also very stressed out. Because to be very honest, when Christian Eriksen collapsed, I thought that after some medical treatment on him, he would be able to be carried off. And uh, I in my life have never seen a match get suspended due to an injury. Live, I have not seen. So that became very scary. His family came on the pitch, and people were crying all around. The players were very agitated, sorry, very demoralized. They had broken down, they had made a ring around him, and the injuries happen. People collapse on the ground. These are seen on a football pitch, but this was of next level. But what we say, we thought of coming on live because we wanted to share the latest update. Because like us, I know most of the people who were watching the Finland versus Denmark game were very much concerned about the Christian Eriksen's injury update, especially because the way he was carried off the field. So Trisha, what's the exact update? If you can just reveal that.
So, first, I will read out the statement from UEFA's official handle. They have written following the medical emergency involving Denmark's player Christian Eriksen, a crisis meeting has taken place with both teams and match officials, and further information will be communicated at 19:45 CET. The player has been transferred to the hospital and has been stabilized. And we got Denmark FA, which is the latest news, the latest update rather. The Denmark FA has confirmed that Christian Eriksen is now awake and is in the hospital. Decision on the match will be announced at 1:15 IST, that is Indian Standard Time.
Mhm.
Uh, Thankfully, the Christian Eriksen is awake and is for further examinations at a hospital. The update is he is now awake, which is very good news. And all we can say is, I mean, whatever happened, I hope he will pull through. The fact that he's awake is a very good sign. And the decision on the match will be taken at 1:15 IST, that is about roughly 2 hours from now. I think a correct decision was made to suspend the match. And
Exactly. I
I
think the referee was very proactive at that point of time, because in these kind of situations, you never know. Because usually in a football match, people usually collide and then they get injured on, or then they are unconscious. But if you see, Christian Eriksen was just running towards the ball and he suddenly collapsed. Nobody had any kind of idea that what was really going on. For the first few minutes, everybody thought that things would be under control. But with every moment passing on, nobody had no idea what was going on. And then the situation became very tough for the, I think, the football world in itself. Because the Euro 2020 has brought so many smiles in this COVID related, COVID affected world. And to get an injury like this, any injury is not good for any game. I will make that clear. But these kind of injuries where people have to be taken in an ambulance to a hospital is just horrific to another level. And it just spoils the mood. It's very unfortunate. But the good thing is that the silver lining is that he's breathing, he is conscious. When he was taken out, he gave a thumbs up. You can check our thumbnail also. He just gave a thumbs up, and that was one of the good signs. And what about the players? All the players were in unison, uh, because this was a very tough game. Finland, Denmark, both teams had to win this game, and both set of players were very much aware to what they should do. Because Players don't usually fall in this space in every game, but they made this ring around them, and they were very aware to do what was needed at that point of time.
Absolutely. I mean, the way the players came together, it was also a little scary to see the players. I mean, they started crying, which is something which, again, kind of scared me further. But thankfully,
Correct.
things are under control. And Orgo, we wanted to come and give an update. This is not news. This is not something we want to, as as football lovers, I'm so sorry, as football lovers, it was trending. In Twitter, I have also tweeted, I was asking for some information,
Mm,
and this information gives me plenty of assurance when I read Denmark FA's statement that he's awake.
mm,
And that's why Orgo and I immediately decided that I mean, every single person who's watching Euro is concerned about Christian Eriksen. It was we should come and inform everyone that things seem to be stabilized right now. And I think this is more than the match being played, more than the match
correct.
resuming. It is about a life, about a player, about a family, and we are more than grateful that the situation is in control. Although we
Correct.
will come back if there is any further update, and we will
Correct.
keep you guys informed. Please, please, just one request: without knowing the full information, out of panic, do not spread any wrong information, because there were a number of messages where it was said that he has passed away, and it was very scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until and unless Denmark FA actually put it out that he's awake and he's fine. So I
Mm,
mean, he's stable, right? So please do not
correct.
fall prey to. Yes, Ali Al Hadi side, we are talking about Christian Eriksen only. He collapsed. It was very scary. I agree.
Correct. It
And
was.
when I have actually come here, this is the main reason, because we wanted to update you guys. Or if you don't mind, I'll just read out the update once more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Denmark FA
Definitely.
confirmed that Christian Eriksen is now awake and is in the hospital. Decision on the match is to be announced at 1:15 IST. It doesn't matter. I'm repeating again,
Yeah.
whether the match goes on or it doesn't go
Goes
on,
on. Yeah.
it just doesn't matter, because a person's life, a player's life, a family is concerned here. The good part is the
Correct.
word awake. He's awake,
Yeah.
and he is, in the hospital. I think the best part is the reaction time was fast, and he was taken to the
Yeah.
hospital,
Exactly.
right?
And if you remember, Trisha, when I remember I was watching the game, but I was doing something on my mobile. And because the ball had gone out of play, uh, I was thinking that I'll finish some work on my mobile and then I'll turn my attention towards the game. And even the commentators were also not that much aware that this kind of a thing is happening. Like we were discussing, a player when he collides with someone, he or she, there's an impact. But here nobody came just out of the blue, he collapsed out of the blue. And that's more threatening, because then there's some internal thing going on, right? Because if you don't have any collision and then you fall on the ground out of the blue, that increases the tension. And I think when his wife came on the field and Casper Michael went to his wife to console her, that was the time I was very nervous, because they were constantly crying. And usually you won't see that during a match somebody's family is allowed on the ground. And when this
Absolutely.
situation happens, exactly when this situation happens, you know the multitude of that situation, the magnitude of that situation, and that that made all of us nervous. I think even the viewers who are watching, everybody became very, very nervous with this thing. But again, like Trisha said, both UEFA and the Dutch FA has confirmed that he is stable in an hospital and he's breathing. He's awake. That's the most important thing. Christian Eriksen is awake. Now, with the medical facilities over there, I hope and I pray that he gets back to his full fitness, his full rhythm as soon as possible, because these kind of incidents are very, very dangerous, because it takes things away out of your control in a matter of minutes. You can't even do anything. we have seen many players collapse on the ground and have expired. I don't want to use that word, but we know, we have been there, we have seen it in our lives, and that's why, because we have seen it in our lives many a times, it's very, very, very
Although
scary.
Ali Al Hadi Said is also saying the same thing, that we didn't see that coming. Absolutely. I mean,
Mm, exactly.
Ali, the way he collapsed, none of us had thought about it, because again, as Orgo was saying, if there is a collision, we get it. But there was nothing. The
Yeah,
way he fell so hard on his head. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I don't even want to read the rest of what you have written, because I know you have written with good intentions. You were scared as a fan, but those words are scaring me. The way the player started crying, the way his family was rushing on the ground, uh, that sight in itself was so scary. And that is the main reason Orgo and I have come here, because we are a football loving nation, and I know somewhere all of us were scared. I saw my friends in Twitter, in
mm,
Facebook, each of us were texting each other. We were scared. Orko and I were
correct.
telling each other what happened, is he okay, because
Mm,
we were not getting any news. So the moment we got
yeah,
a news, we thought we need to share it with all
that's
of
what.
you. And
Yeah,
also
because
when we
we
are
were
doing
waiting for
this,
a confirmed news. We had got
absolutely,
a few news here and there, but like we texted each other and we said, let's wait for a confirmed news, because there's no point spreading
speculating
rumors.
anything.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
even good or bad. Because, and I got scared at that point of time when the commentator, he was constantly commentating, giving us a surround update, not an exact update. But when in the last 5 minutes, there was actually no commentary. I'm talking about India. There was no commentary. Everything went silent. There was only crowd noise. And these are the things, because see, Trisha, we and everyone of us who have been watching football, we have seen that these kind of things, when these things happen, a football game happening on broadcast without any commentary for 5 or 6 minutes, then there's something problem. When there's no technical glitch, so they were avoiding to comment anything. Even the show
Absolutely.
that was on Sony, the anchor was also playing it very safe, which he should have done, and he did it very rightly. That he didn't speculate. Neither did the guests on Sony speculated anything. That was the greatest thing that they did. They only provided the update which they had, and then they said that we will come back with any other update. So that was a good thing. Finally, the update has come. Christian Eriksen is at least awake and he is breathing. He is in a hospital. That's the greatest news which we could have had in this Euro.
Ali, yes, football is more than just a game, and it was a hard day. And Ali, if you don't mind me saying this, football, cricket, it can be
Any
anything, but
game.
the
Mm,
biggest thing is all these things are more than a game. It's a family, it's a player involved, and it was very scary. Although, if you don't mind,
correct.
I will just read it out, because I can see viewers are
Mm,
joining in. Many of them probably weren't there when we were announcing the update. So I will just read out the two updates. So UEFA's official Twitter handle has tweeted that following the medical emergency involving Denmark's player Christian Eriksen, a crisis meeting has taken place with both teams and match officials, and further information will be communicated at 19:45 CET. The player, the most important part and the biggest part, the player has been transferred to the hospital and has been stabilized. And further confirming this news, Denmark FA has written Christian Eriksen is now awake and is in the hospital. Decision on the match is to be announced at 1:15 Indian Standard Time. It's
yeah. The match
perfectly
was suspended. Yeah,
play was
yeah,
suspended, play will resume eventually or may not resume. It honestly doesn't
yeah.
matter to me. I think the biggest news for all of us is that Christian Eriksen is now awake and in a hospital. I will say two things to the viewers. First, please do not spread any news which you do not know. We understand as fans, all of us are concerned and all of us want to know. But then there are so many rumors at times, it is very scary. It gets scarier.
Mm,
So please, first,
exactly.
just check whether it's correct or not. Wait for two, three sources and then confirm the news. And second, um just pray for his family and him, that he
Correct.
pulls through and comes back stronger.
Exactly,
With
and
this,
what a player
Orko,
Christian Eriksen has been. And
absolutely.
last thing I want to add,
Yes.
again, well, what a great player, a total entertainer, ex-Tottenham player, current Inter Milan player has, and one of the biggest stars of this Denmark team. We watch Euros because of big stars, and this Denmark team has two of the biggest stars. One is Kasper Schmeichel, the goalkeeper. One is Christian Eriksen. And even if he wouldn't have been the star player, still we would have been very concerned, because Trisha, last thing I want to say, we, after this junior episode in Indian football, when junior was playing for Dempo against Mohan Bagan, and he had a collision with the goalkeeper of Mohan Bagan, and then he collapsed and then he expired. I think any Indian football fan, and maybe any football fan or a sport lover, is very much always gets very much concerned when these kind of things happen, because that has had a tremendous impact on us. Because when Junior left, it left a very big hole in our heart, because he was at the top of his game and he was the best player in Indian football at that point of time. And like I said, you don't need to be the best player, but even if you are a player, you're giving your whole effort, and these kind of things happen, then we are bound to get very much distracted by this, very much distressed by all these kind of news. But good thing is that Christian Eriksen is awake, and that's the final update and the current update. If we get any more update regarding Christian Eriksen, we will definitely provide it. And the decision about the match will be made at 1:15 Indian Standard Time.
Orko, news is just coming in that match will resume. Match will resume.
Hmm.
That's the current news coming in. I just got it from a journalist, a very famous
Hmm.
journalist. So, yes, I'm happy the match is resuming, but honestly, as I said, I don't think it matters, Orko. What matters is the
But
fact
one more
that
question: even if the match resumes, the players who have experienced this kind of a thing from like 2 years out, 2 years away, what would be the mental situation of those players? And I have to ask you this question: you being a mental conditioning coach, and you have experienced these kind of adversities in life, uh, while coaching a team or while doing workshops and things like that, how do the players regroup even if the match restarts?
I think it becomes a little tough, obviously, um, because as I said, I mean, uh, can you just give me 1 minute? I'm just getting a phone call.
Yeah,
Just a second, Orko.
yeah, I will just continue. So the thing
Yeah,
is,
can
the
you just sum up the thing? I'll come back to it.
yeah. Yeah. So the latest update is that the match might resume at 1:15. The match. Remember, there's another match. Belgium is also playing. That match was supposed to start at 12:30 Indian Standard Time. So now with this Finland versus Denmark game suspended with the injury of Christian Eriksen, but now the good news is that Christian Eriksen is awake in hospital, recuperating, and the results are positive. All the medical tests will be happening on him, but the results are positive. The signs are good, and the good sign is the match most probably will start. And if the match starts, it will be a thing to watch what happens with the players, the mental aspect. Trisha will join when she finishes on the call, because she's a mental conditioning coach. I want to get her inputs on this, because it's a very tough situation. Just just place yourselves in the shoes of those players who were guarding their opponent or their teammate by making a circle, seeing death from 2 yards out, seeing a player struggle, Christian Eriksen struggle from 2 yards out. It it's bound to have a very adverse effect on the players. But I think the players can also take a silver lining from the fact that Christian Eriksen, even after this kind of a situation, has been stable, has been hospitalized, and has been stable. That's the biggest positive news of Euro 2020. first positive news of this year was that Euro 2020 was happening in 2021, and the next positive news is this one, that Christian Eriksen, who fell on the ground out of the blue, and then we saw the pictures. Who were watching television at that point of time, we saw the distressing pictures over there. And now Trisha is back. I think I can get
Yeah.
Trisha on this subject, that what happens to the players after such a distressing impact on their mind if the
Well,
match
I think,
resumes.
yeah, eventually the match will resume. Just a second.
Yeah. So the update is the Finland versus Denmark game is supposed to resume, and
It is
Christian
going to
Eriksen
resume.
is,
Yes,
yeah, it is
it
going
is
to
going to
resume.
resume.
And yeah,
As
go
you
on. Go on.
speak about the mental health, for both the teams, make no mistake, for both the teams, it's a very, very difficult situation to come out and play now. Because think of it, Orko, we are sitting back at home, and you can see, I mean, Orko is fumbling, I am fumbling, we are stammering because all of us are so shocked and surprised. Then think of somebody who has seen him, because you're playing with him, you have shared the dressing room with him, and your friend, in short, your friend is unwell. It will take mammoth mental strength to come back. And in this situation, there are two effects on players. Either either they become so hungry to do well because of their friend, that they will
Yeah,
either either they become hungry to perform, or what basically ends up happening is they will make a mess of the match, because they are in
yeah,
no situation to face the opponents.
yeah.
And
And
that
you
is
can't
where,
you can't blame the players also for that, because
absolutely not.
nobody, absolutely nobody should be pressurized in this situation. But again, the thing is that unlike other tournaments, if it would have been a UEFA Champions League match, it would have been rescheduled on any other day. But with the packed Euro schedule, that's the problem. And this Euro is happening in 10, 11 nations across Europe. So there's logistic issues, and rescheduling is a very difficult part of this Euro specifically. That's why I think that if things go on well, the match will resume, and that's why the decision has been taken of the resumption. But the good thing, again, we will put it out. The good thing is that Christian Eriksen is stable. The Christian Eriksen collapsed on the ground, and but he had to be medically attended for a long period of time. The players were distressed, the managers were distressed, supporters, family, we as viewers were very much distressed. But now the Dutch FA and UEFA have confirmed that he is recuperating in the hospital and he is awake.
And the match is going to resume.
Exactly.
So, Orgo, we have given all the
Hmm.
viewers all the updates. Guys,
Yeah.
still keep praying for Christian Eriksen, and to all Denmark fans, it doesn't matter how your team plays from here on. Because
Hmm.
for me, I don't know if the match should have been resumed. Honestly, if you ask me, I think this is very hard on the players. Maybe could have, I don't know, maybe share points or whatever, but it is going to be tough.
Hmm.
I wish both, and it will be tough for the opponents as well, make no mistake.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
as a player, Orko, everyone can start thinking, now that I'm under pressure, maybe
Hmm.
that's the reason, the whole collapse
Hmm.
happened, whether I'm getting
Hmm.
anxious or not while playing. All these things will start coming in the player's mind, so there is a lot of, we might see a very weird mindset of the players. And I
Even
would
the players
urge the
might not go
fans,
into hard tackles. Even the players might not go
absolutely.
into 50-50 tackles, because after this kind of a thing, when the Phil Hughes tragedy happened, if you see after that 2 or 3 months, every time a bowler bowled a bouncer and hit the helmet of a batter, the bowler was very concerned in that for a year or so, these kind of things happen. So the
Absolutely,
players
because it
will
shook the
definitely
entire
not go.
sporting world.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is very tough, and it would have shaken both the team players. All I will say is to the fans, please keep praying for Eriksen, and just don't bother about today's match results. Let's concentrate
Correct.
more on the human side of the game. Thank you so much
Correct.
for joining us. And
Thank you.
guys, if we get any more updates, we will come back and update you guys, because we know you guys are as worried as we are. Orgo, thank you
Hmm.
so much for coming in at a short notice. Let us be together, and let us all pray for Eriksen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.